It's that time of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We
That's
are
right.
looking at your Dynasty trades.
Mhm.
Every week, we do a Dynasty trade video where we break down 2 trades. If you want your trades to be considered, join our Discord with the link in the description. And anytime you put a trade in the Dynasty Trades text channel over there on Discord, it is considered. So we are looking at 2 people's trades today, Badaki. The first one is... Oh my God. This is... If you want to define the word blockbuster, this is a blockbuster.
Yeah,
okay?
it is. 100%. No doubt about it.
This trade is from AJ, so you can see it on the screen now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see Team A, Lamar Jackson, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Swift, Kyle Pitts.
Right.
Team B, Ryan Tannehill, Brandon Cooks, Nick Chubb, Irv Smith, and 4 2023 first round picks. Okay, little context here provided by AJ. It's a 12-team league, PPR, Superflex, and he says, I have 4 23 firsts remaining. So obviously this guy put in the work last year, had a specific strategy to get these first round picks, and now is executing on them. I'll get straight into this one because I have a very, very specific opinion here.
Okay.
I am pretty easily on Team A here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where you stand on it, but I'll ask you here in a second. But I think if this is why you have to be so careful of a trade calculator, because I put this in a trade calculator, Badaki, and it said it was an even trade. Now, sure, I guess you could call it an even trade, but let's talk about the players in Team A first here, okay?
Right.
How many firsts would I need to send for each of these players?
Exactly.
Lamar Jackson, how many firsts? 3 at minimum, right?
Yeah.
No one's giving them up for less than 2 or for less than 3. How about DK Metcalf? At least 1, probably a second, right?
Yep.
How about DeAndre Swift? At least 2 first rounders. Kyle Pitts, at least 3 first rounders. So, I mean, that's a minimum of 9 first round picks, potentially even more.
Agreed.
And then, I guess you could make the case that, Nick Chubb, Ryan Tannehill, Brandon Cooks, and Irv Smith are worth what? Well, I don't think they're worth 5 first round picks.
They are not.
And then let's talk about those 23 firsts that he got, that Team B got. So those 4 23 firsts, this is weird to me because it feels like a potential rebuild move from Team B.
Yes.
But do you really achieve that goal when you're letting go of 4 of the youngest, most elite assets in Dynasty? And we love the 23 class, no doubt. But what are the odds that you hit on all those picks and get players that are just as valuable as the players that you let go? And the last thing I'll say is, if we're rebuilding, why are we grabbing Chubb and Brandon Cooks? I mean, then I ask myself, is this a win now team? Because, I mean, maybe you wanted to get those first round picks and build around your team, but you still let go of all these pieces that can help you win now and in the future. So this was an interesting one. I saw some interesting conversations in the Discord. To me, I think this may be someone being a victim of a trade calculator, which, we are not huge fans of.
Correct.
Some people use it as their Bible, but what did you think of this one? I don't know if you see the same way.
No, I completely agree. When I was looking at this, that was literally my first thought. How much can I get from some of these guys that I just acquired, which is in Team A, Lamar, DK, Swift, Pitts, because those 23 first are valuable, but you can't flip those for Ryan Tannehill. And I was going, and I actually used the trade calculator to see if these guys are worth a first. So Ryan Tannehill, according to a great trade calculator, he's worth a mid-second. Brandon Cooks, depending on your league, according to the trade calculator, it's an early second, but I think you can sell him for a first. And then Nick Chubb, for sure, a first. Irv Smith is nowhere near a first-round pick. So in reality, you're going to have 5 first-round picks, maybe 6 first-round picks from all that trade you just acquired. When you, like Zach said earlier, you could have just flipped, all of Teams A players if you really wanted some 23 first-round picks for 9 first-round picks.
At least. Honestly, you probably could have gotten 11 from that haul.
This is definitely...
There's no way you get 11 first-round picks in the 23 class because that's just logistically probably impossible. Not everyone wants to give their picks, but he could have gotten them in the, half in the 24 class, half in the 23 class.
Agreed. I mean, he could have sold DK and DeAndre and still got 4 first-round picks and be like, you know what? I just evened out. And you still have a top... literally the number 1 tight end and a top 5 quarterback in Lamar, top 8 quarterback, depending on how you see him, in Lamar Jackson. So I don't know. It definitely.
Yeah. I mean, you think about this from a startup perspective, right? If you're doing a dynasty startup, and in our opinion, if you're doing it right, Lamar Jackson is absolutely a first round pick in a startup.
Exactly.
I mean, DK Metcalf probably a third. DeAndre Swift a second, early second. Kyle Pitts an early second in a startup, 12-man startup draft. So I don't know. I think this is one of those cases where maybe I don't understand how it goes through unless someone shows someone a trade cut. Bro, it's even. What do you mean? Like, I'm giving you even value.
Yeah.
And you just cannot equate how much Kyle Pitts means for a decade, how much Lamar Jackson means in Superflex, how much DeAndre Swift means in a PPR format, DK's talent in Dynasty. So I gave Team A an A+, and I gave Team B a C+.
Right. Okay. Mine's pretty similar. I was a little bit more generous. Team B. I gave Team A an A+ and Team B a B-.
Okay. Yeah, I think typically we try and show super close trades, and there's gonna be people out there who are watching this who are saying, "Nah, bro, Team B got the haul here," right?
Yeah, and
there's always people who disagree.
Yeah.
But I think that this was really important to show people because this is just a reason why we don't trust trade calculators. All right, the second trade here is from Marcus Hayden. Again, over there on Discord.
That's right.
Context is it's a 12-team super flex league with 4 flex spots. Okay, so another trade involving Kyle Pitts, but I thought this was super interesting. We got some 2025 draft pick compensation in this one. Kyle Pitts, Treylon Burks, a 25 second and third, and that is Team A. Team B is AJ Brown, T. Higgins, and a 25 fourth. I went first last time, so I'll let you start off here. Where are you leaning on this trade?
I'm leaning Team B. When I was looking at this, I took away the picks because 2025 is a little bit too far to really value and to really understand where we're going unless you're in the deep Devy league and you can understand those 2025 picks. But I think for us, and maybe for me specifically, I think I had to take those out and then really look at Kyle Pitts, Treylon Burks, AJ Brown, T. Higgins. And yes, you do have 4 flex spots, but you're also getting a top tight end. And you guys know me. I think you can get a tight end later on in the draft that's maybe not as good or talented as Kyle Pitts, but maybe he has a David Njoku, a Hunter Henry, depending on how you feel. Or the way I was seeing this, it was like, you know what? I'm taking Team B. Get A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, and if A.J. Brown is not the same, I still believe, especially in the Eagles, I still believe you can flip A.J. Brown for at least a top, for a Mark Andrews, a George Kittle, one of those guys. So I'm definitely going Team B here. I feel more confident in, I guess, the youth, even though they're both young players. Both teams are young players, but I just believe more in A.J. Brown and T. Higgins because Treylon Burks, we haven't seen it, right? Ryan Tannehill should be playing this year, right? But the expectation could be that, hey, this team is going to become a rebuild team. They could struggle. Maybe Treylon Burks could struggle. But for me, I'm taking A.J. Brown and T. Higgins, no doubt.
Yeah, so this one was really tough for me. So you're Team B. This was really, really tough for me because, as you know, Badaki, 2 guys that I've literally claimed my name to, if you will, are on opposite sides. One in Kyle Pitts and one in T. Higgins. And this year, another guy that I've kind of claimed, a lot of stock into is Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
This was hard. My heart was being torn in 2 different directions.
Right.
I am actually going to lean Team A here. So we are on opposite sides, but I think that this is a very close one, like I said. I think this comes down to 4 different factors, really. I mean, obviously. I'll say this. The picks do matter, though, because that 25 class will come up sooner than you realize.
For sure.
And then, so I just think we have to be careful of saying, like, it doesn't really matter. It's so far away.
I didn't say it didn't matter. I'm saying
the picks do matter, for sure.
I was saying, like, I have to take it out because we can't truly value what that is right now.
I get that.
But
but you think about it, if you can get a second and a third and you give a fourth, that's almost the value of a first round pick, even though it's not in the first round. Obviously, different values of players. So it does matter. But look, this comes down to 4 factors. Number 1, do you believe in Treylon Burks? Okay. It is a very, very popular opinion right now in the dynasty sphere to be anti-Treylon Burks. Look, he's out of shape. Look, he needs an inhaler. He can't even stay on the field in rookie minicamp. We're talking about practice? Practice? We're talking about practice.
It's practice.
AI. No, but legit, I mean, are we really going to get caught up in this again this year after what we saw from Jamar Chase last year? Is Treylon Burks going to be as good as Jamar Chase? No, of course he's not. However, I think this is classic. People need something to talk about. Really, people need something to cover. They need something to overblow. If you, that's not the word, but you know what I'm trying to say. I mean,
overhype, right?
If you were a fan of Treylon Burks before the draft, before the combine, and all of a sudden your convictions have completely changed, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. Don't be that guy. I still have conviction in Treylon Burks. I still think that at some point in his career, he can be considered a top 12 wide receiver in Dynasty. I actually have him ranked as my wide receiver 14 in Dynasty right now. I think with the modern day NFL, players like Treylon Burks are really set up to succeed. We have seen the pathway for success, right? We've seen how A.J. Brown was used in Tennessee. We've seen how Debo was used in San Francisco. Cordero. Right. Those players paved the way, specifically Cordero and Debo last year. A lot of teams, this is a copycat league. You adopt things that really work for people. Now they have a player that they can do that with in Treylon Burks. So I believe in Treylon. And the other part, number 2, is Kyle Pitts. I mean, how many firsts would it take for me to really sell Kyle Pitts? You guys know I'm high on Kyle Pitts. I think he had one of the best rookie seasons ever. I don't think he's even hit his peak. I think we're talking about him as a true advantage on your team for a decade. Positional advantage. So for me, I mean, it'll take at least 3 to 4 first-round picks. I don't even know that I would want to move him just because of how much I value that. The other thing is A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, right? I don't think A.J. Brown is negatively impacted by going to Tennessee, but I do think it's going to take manufactured touches.
Right.
To Philly. I think he can still be, a top 12 guy, top 15-ish. But I think it's going to take manufactured touches. And then T. Higgins, this is the hardest part for me. I do truly believe he's on the cusp of a breakout, like a top 10 breakout. So that's what made it really difficult. But at the end of the day, my love and value of Pitts and my belief in Treylon put me over the top in this one.
Okay.
And then I don't think it's pretty good to be like, damn, in 25 I got some extra picks as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm leaning Team A here. It's really close. I went B+, Team B a B. I don't think that either side, this trade is going to either destroy their future or completely set them up. But
I agree.
I do like this for Team A.
I have the same thing. I have a B and a B+. I think it's fairly even in my personal opinion. But if I had to lean a side, I would go Team B.
Yeah. Really close. Why don't you guys let us know in the comments below where you would lean if this was your trades or what your opinions might be on these trades.
Lean back.
Comment down below.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLandFam.